Yes. So we have been Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Moodhamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukrunna Karani. Remember, recall, relive. Just we have to become aware of the real self. It is there. Remember, recall, relive. And the second line says only in intellect, if we feed the information in the intellect, when we do not allow the mind to realize it, we continue to have an emotional dependence. And if we have an emotional dependence, the delusion will always be there. And if the delusion is there, that delusion can pick you up in your life at any point of time. And then we start suffering. This wonderful guy. And now divorce is so common thing, Uh, divorce, almost 6, 7 months. Now he's taking care of another new partner. So he booked for all the sessions and then he's not coming. So I said, why you are not coming? No, no, don't disturb me. I have to take care of my partner who has lot of mental issues. Then I will return back to your session. What I was doing before, I was doing the same thing. And I'm doing the same thing now. I do not recognize that level of delusion. So I was a consumer with the first partner. So I did not meet my expectations. So I lifted all my expectations from one person and superimposed on the other. Did you get it? Are you getting it? And there is a continuous journey. Keep smiling, I'm just giving an example of the delusion. I don't like you, I hate you. How many times you have told? We are doing the same thing again and again and expecting a good result. It will never come. It will never change. So I have to take care of this crazy mind. Crazy mind. All the teachers, those who have really understood this entire journey of the Eastern wisdom, we always feel inside that if we are, take an example of mine, if I'm not able to make you understand, then internally I seek your forgiveness. But if you are changing, life is changing, behavior and attitude is changing, you are able to drop the delusion. All comes from the blessings of the masters and the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. No, I need not to, every day I need not to say that, I'm seeking you. So we always try our best in every session that how to help our mind to understand this knowledge. In the moment you have that understanding, the delusion is gone. Delusion is gone, you are always in that state of the peace and happiness. That is how we contribute, even a little bit. We do not contribute through your money and other things, but it helps you to bring about a change in your behavior and attitude. The whole perspective of the life changes. So once the delusion is gone, one master says, such a beautiful statement made 3,000 years ago. We cannot afford, let me rephrase it, we cannot afford without knowing. The human mind is always curious. It wants to acquire the knowledge of everything and anything. So here's what the master is saying. What is the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom? Any knowledge at any point of time means awareness in your life. That is what the live in moment is. Living from a moment to moment is. What is that? Any knowledge that promotes peace, happiness, love, and wisdom will get you rid of the delusion. So I have to see the way I think, the way I speak, and the way I act in my life. Wherever you go, in your relations, in your professions, in the mall, in the store, with your friends, even with your enemies. Never forget this. Keep in your mind. Knowledge that promotes peace, happiness, love, and wisdom is the real knowledge. And that knowledge which promotes attachment, reaction, emotional dependence, being fully busy, isn't it so simple? Say yes, it is very simple. I have understood it. So at the level of the intellect, we have understood, but it has not gone into the mind. Why it has not transformed my mind? Because of the emotional dependence. And that is why we have to listen and learn and continue listening and learning until we click. Oh, this knowledge is promoting peace and happiness. I'm done. Then awakening is not too far. But if any time today I heard, I understood for 1 hour, it promoted peace and happiness. And after an hour, my mind goes back to the past impressions and it went into the delusion. We started the blame and complaint game, reaction and anxiety and duality. It means the mind has yet to change. Can you just remember, never forget, I am thinking about you in favor of you or against you. Is it promoting peace and happiness? In me. Forget the others. The way I am expressing, is it promoting peace and happiness? The way I am acting in my life, in my personal life, in my professional life, is it promoting peace and happiness? That is the only real knowledge. The rest knowledge are the fake knowledge. Can I say it's the fake knowledge? You have a knowledge of the science, you have discovered, you have 10 patents, but the knowledge that is promoting an attachment, it results into delusion. Can you just remember this before I go to the next verse of this poem? Knowledge that promotes peace and happiness, love, and the wisdom. 24 by 7 is the real knowledge. All else are either it causes the emotional dependence, but this good thing is also there. All else, the other knowledge gives me the skill sets. You know, I should have a driving license, so a skill set of driving. So the rest of the knowledge gives me the skill sets. It can give me an expertise. But again, I have to dig deep inside what knowledge I have, what profession I am. Is the knowledge promoting peace and happiness, love and wisdom in my life? It is going to change my behavior and attitude. Can I give you some examples of uh, delusion? Even we are extremely intelligent. Can you tell me who claims that I'm not intelligent? We all claim we are intelligent. Think for a while. Just even for a no, no. I'm intelligent. I'm understanding. So the master is pointing where our intellect is going and how it is putting us into the delusion. Unless we bring that down into our life. I like vodka, for example, I'm saying. No, I don't like it, I don't take it. I'm just giving. Then addicted to it, then created an attachment. You know what mind thinks and demands from the God if I am addicted to it. Doctor says your liver is going to be damaged. Liver gets damaged by drinking? Yeah, that is what I heard. So when the person is in delusion, they pray to the God, why you have not given me two livers instead of one liver? This is the delusion. Now you have to find out why I said this. Easy to get a second partner. I'm relating. Do you see? This is what the delusion is. Knowledge that creates an attachment reaction is ignorance and delusion. I have to get rid of it. How long it takes me to become aware of it? I'm upset. I'm fully busy. I feel anxiety. It is only because of the delusion. There is no other reason. You have a knowledge of being upset, isn't it? You have knowledge of being fully busy. You have knowledge of reaction for one person and response for another person. And I lose that awareness because I'm in a delusion. Master is saying, any knowledge that promotes peace and happiness, that promotes easiness, you are comfortable, you are at ease. When? All the time. Where? In all the locations. In what relationship? Or all the relationships? Tell me, want you experience the sense of freedom? But if you don't recognize that delusion, oh, I slept late at night, so I cannot attend the session. Find out if it is a delusion or not. I'm just giving an example. There are more important things to do in life than listening to your crazy talk. No, you have to find out whether it's a point of a delusion or not. Find the delusion in the knowledge and understanding that we have. This is why this poem is. First line is very important. First, Bhaj Govindam, Govindam Bhaj. Recall, relive that, become aware of it. But the second line, it is being repeated, this line. What he says that samprapte sannahite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukrunna karane. So the simple English translation that I'm in the delusion at any point of time. That is uncertain. It may come. And I'm in delusion. It is only because I do not become aware that the real knowledge is that knowledge which promotes peace and happiness. Simple. Which raises my awareness. Any knowledge that promotes attachment, reaction, emotional dependence is delusion. Delusion results into ignorance, and ignorance causes the suffering. How simple it is and how challenging in my life. I don't do it generally, but sometime I have to play the trick. I've already talked about in a group session with the dentist, so I'm going to talk about this, but I'm just giving it's a real story. Uh, person A, person two, and the person three who is a speaker before you. So the person A sent a long email. It may be about 3 to 4 pages, criticizing others, criticizing the person two. They both are together. But before that, the person A sent a two-liner email. The person two it does not understand. So I'm just dropping her from the session. I said, do it. Simple one-liner. I said, do it. Person two wrote a long email, how the events took place, how how the person two is so good, criticizing the other. Then I sent both the email that is this email confidential or private? No, no, it's open. I can prove you. The other guy is so bad and good. Well, it's a long email. I don't want to say all those words. So when they said, no, no, it's open, it is private. It's not private. I never do it. Don't worry. I said, no, I have to play a game. Now, person A is criticizing, they are responding to me. So I sent an email that I forwarded that email from person one to the person two. What do you say about this? Person two wrote another nasty email, and it has been going on for about a week. After a week, all the excitement of criticizing others, blaming others stopped. Do you know ECG or EEG? You know, waves. You started with the delusion, it went into the peak, it went low, and again, what happened after a week? You reached to the same level of peace. Why you created such a ruckus? So I was constantly forwarding the email to each other. Are you getting it? Apply this in your life. Today you had some problem with your near and the dear ones. Pick up the point. Is this knowledge promoting peace? How should I respond? How should I think? How should I act? Be alert. Become alert. Don't allow the graph to go up in excitement. Then you go down. Then you go up. And at last, you will forget this also. I can tell you. After a few weeks, you forget. Don't you forget? After blaming someone for a couple of weeks, we forget. Why not from the beginning? So they thought that they will use me, but I just plays a trick. I just forwarded the email with a simple line. What do you say about this? The first 5 or 6 emails, they were totally excited. They hesitated. They wanted to prove that how other guy is so bad. And they are living in that emotional dependence. They are living in that delusion. Are you getting it? And what is now? Everything is gone. I can give you millions of examples. Every statement, the way you think and speak and act in your life, you have to examine. You have to be alert. Knowledge, if it promotes peace and happiness, love and wisdom, finished. You are in mindfulness. You are in meditation. You need not to practice anything. You experience the sense of freedom. You are living from a moment to moment. This is what is living from a moment to moment. And this poem gives us, it is going to tell us how deeply we are suffering from this delusion in our life. So we have a problem with our partner, we have a problem with our kids, we have a problem with our friends, we have a problem with our neighbors. We have a problem with our situation. But the fact is that no situation, no person, no relation is chasing us for a problem. Does the situation comes and bites you? Tell me. No situation bites us. No situation causes any problem. I cannot see that situation objectively. What do you mean by seeing objectively? This mouse is different, separate from me. What is delusion? This mouse is me. That is the delusion. Are you getting it? I believe so. Case of vodka. God, you are crazy, you know. I like vodka, so you give me 2 livers. I like sweet. Give me 2 pancreas, yeah. And then we rationalize, we enter into a deeper level of the delusion. And then we disturb our sleep. We are upset throughout the day. Think of my friends, think. You need not to believe anything in Eastern wisdom. That is the beauty. Eastern wisdom says knowledge, again I'm repeating, never forget this. Whenever you are upset, remember this statement. Knowledge that promotes peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. What it means? Knowledge that promotes awareness. Knowledge that helps you to live consciously. Knowledge that helps you to live from a moment to moment. You see that, that guy is very crazy. I reacted, he made me upset. This is also a knowledge. Ask your mind, is the knowledge promoting peace and happiness? Simple. But will you be able to remember this all the time? As long as the impurity of the mind is there, you will forget it. So when these person 1 and 2, they exchanged the email, they wanted to prove how other is wrong. By proving how other is wrong, they are upset. But when I was, forwarding the email, they had to realize when, they are human beings. They have to realize at one point. So maybe 6 or 7 emails, I said, who is going to read this long email? But I took their permission. They calmed down themselves. I cannot live in delusion. No human being can live in delusion. That is what the Western world talks about, the conscience. Have you heard about the conscience? Eastern wisdom gives us a clarity. Oh, we don't talk about the conscience. What happened to you after 5 days of uh, blaming and complaining and reacting and getting disturbed? Nothing. What is the ultimate result? Again, you are in peace. But they realized that I was tricking both of them. So sometimes we have to do this also. In rare cases, think intellectual understanding. Can I rephrase it? Intellectual understanding will not help. We, any average person can understand. Seeker's job is to bring that knowledge into a state of realization. That is the difference between a seeker and a non-seeker. Average person can understand. You can study the books, you can go through, and you can get the knowledge, you can watch the YouTube, anything. Average person can understand. But a seeker is committed to translate that into life. So that is why still we are in the first. You can also think in an American way, focus on what truly matters, living your purpose. That is how we think in that way. Or modern people think. Life is fleeting. Because the life is fleeting, we should focus our energy on that knowledge which promotes peace and happiness. No, no, wealth will promote peace and happiness at a physical level only. See that? So you are analyzing, you are becoming aware. So life is short. No amount of money, job titles, or degrees, or prestige, or recognition can help me promote peace. I get little bit of peace, you know. You post something on the social media and instantly you get likes, you're happy. 10 likes, you're happy, and one dislike, you're unhappy. Look at it. Oh, that's why I'm not on social media. But you are already, you have a social media inside your head. You have to get rid of that. Don't tell me. I will, I will take your intellect to at a deeper level. So we have a social media in our head. Ah, neighbors, you know, I don't want to talk. Look at it. Eastern wisdom goes very deep inside it. Live in the present, and be grateful. Just the best way, last thing, the best way we will talk in detail further, best way that you don't become a consumer, you become a contributor, the delusion will not touch you. In what way I can contribute at this moment, in this relationship, at this time? I can tell you delusion will not touch you. Close your eyes are closed, and being comfortable. You are being comfortable and carefree. We're going very deeper into these principles, my friend, by understanding this great text of poem, Hammer the Delusion. So being great. So first step, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. After doing the practice, you need to contemplate how this mantra is helping me to realize this statement that knowledge promotes peace and happiness. So what we did, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. You are against me. You don't follow me. You don't like me. Still, I have to think how the knowledge can promote. I have to live in that knowledge which promotes peace and happiness. So I will stop talking to you. I will keep a distance, but there is no reason I should be upset. You see the point of being in the delusion and not in the delusion? You don't know I have such a tough circumstances. You cannot understand. People say me. That is another part of delusion. That is why I give an example of the vodka. Sarvesham, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Now you already understand that meaning. May there be peace for what you're doing. May there be peace for all. You are becoming a contributor. Consumer emotional dependence is there. My friends, remember this. You have to change that mindset. Just pay attention and the knowledge unfolds in you. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. I'm complete in myself. Others are also complete in themselves. We are all the children of one existence. That includes all the living species. And that existence is whole, so we are also the whole. I have to discover the leakages so that I experience the sense of incompleteness, which causes me to get upset. You see, that is the way the contemplation works. Focus is one, how the knowledge can promote the peace and happiness in my life. If it promotes peace and happiness in my life, it will definitely going to promote peace and happiness in others' lives also. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu. I give you another meaning. This is the real meaning of living from a moment to moment. I know Western authors have picked up this sentence from some master and they say, live from moment to moment. I'm angry. How can I live from a moment to moment? I'm upset with you. How can I live from a moment to moment unless I follow the entire journey? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Look at it, how simple. But at the same time, if we are dictated by the deluded mind, nothing will work. And we will continue purifying the mind. Look deep inside the forehead, in the space, pick a point in the space and drop Om Shanti there. One thing, gently, not in a hurry, and start breathing. Quick and gentle breath into the chest through both the nostrils. Remember that expansion and contraction of the rib cage continues. Om Shanti continues. You are comfortable and steady. As far as the body is concerned, only movement into the rib cage, my friends. Continue. You're continuing the breathing, and at the same time, you are recognizing the objections and reactions and the change in experiences. Continue. Continue. Just continue. Quick and short, gentle breath. Expansion and contraction of the chest continues. Shanti continues. Rhythmic breathing. Shanti is also rhythmic. And in fact, the mind enjoys that state, even the active state. We will understand why we are doing this breathing. There are other secrets also there. Continue. And stop it. Allow the breath to be normal. Pay attention on both the flow of the nostril, which one has a less flow. Pay attention there. Simultaneously, you are experiencing and recognizing the changes You also can recognize the resistance that you faced while the breathing. If you did not face, today's your mind is was 100% committed to the practice. That is how you have to analyze and record these impressions in your mind. One day you will discover that now living from a moment to moment is just a play and a fun. Looking deep inside, again the forehead in the space, Om Shanti. I told you that at an interval, you have already understood and start breathing from the belly. It is a little longer breath. You inhale into the belly, you exhale from the belly. So there is a movement, an expansion and squeezing of the belly instead of the ribs. Even the ribs moves a little bit. It's okay. Continue, my friends. Now see the delusion can come at any time. How it comes? Through your mind. How it comes through the mind? By a thought. No, no, I don't feel like doing it. I feel exhausted. Is that a delusion or not? You have to check it. You have to find an answer for that. You're breathing into the belly. It is a longer breath than the rib cage breathing. You find there is no objection from the mind. Obviously, you are taking over the mind. And you already have the knowledge we discussed. It will descend down into the mind. That is going to change the behavior and attitude. So, breathing is one part, but the knowledge is very important. Your mind will sometime object to the breathing, and that is where the resistance is there. So it's an indication something deeper is happening in the mind. So that's why it is preventing you to continue the journey. So we need not to get upset. We just endure and we keep on doing it. That is the way to do it. And now stop this. Allow the breath to be normal, paying attention on the flow of the breath. And simultaneously, you are registering the experiences, the changes, and the resistance. So, why you are adjusting? We need to have that memory that how many times when we do every day, we find those resistances. This will give us an idea, yes, that I still have to purify the mind or I have to move further. Everything is very clearly spelled out. And paying attention to that flow, the breath which has less flow, if both are equal, it's good. Enjoy that state. You will see that is you experience, definitely you will experience the deeper level of the peace and the calmness if the flow is equal or otherwise also. So again, looking inside the forehead, dropping Om Shanti deep inside the space, and this time you are combining the breath from the belly and the chest, long, deep in the hissing breath. Means while inhaling, you expand your belly and the rib cage. While exhaling, you squeeze the belly and the rib cage. It's a bit challenging, but you keep on doing it. I'm waiting for when you share your experiences of this third type of the breathing. And then I will tell you this is what happens. You already know the way we are going into these sessions. It is your experience which you share helps you and the other to go deeper. Continue. Longer, deeper in the hissing sound. I am specifically pointing out the hissing sound for some reason. You have to explore that. And stop it, stop the breathing, allow the breath to be normal. Feel the flow of the breath through both the nostrils. Body remains in that state of the steadiness. You have already registered in your memory the resistance, if any, so that you see there should not be any resistance in next time you do it. That right memory is also required. And then at the same time, you're paying attention to the flow of the nostril, which has less. If both flow are equal, pay attention to the flow. And then check your experience. You will find that you are already into a new level of awareness. And we should have I would say, ability, or you can understand it. We should have an ability to continue to pay attention on the flow of the nostril for a longer period. Everything will happen by itself. What do you mean? Revelations takes place. But we are entering into the next step that you already know. Visualize the triangle in the cave of your heart, pointing upward. Pointed awareness, moving the mind on each side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti casually, clockwise and anti-clockwise. And when you discover there is a sync of movement of the mind, looking at the side of a triangle, and Om Shanti, means there is a sense of freedom, that limitedness is gone, and that is the right time to push the mind inside the cave of the heart, singing Om. Mind seemingly stops. Shanti and self absorption that we have already discussed many a times. So, you know how to enter into that kind of a self absorption where the world is absent. But I'm not, we are aware of the world, but I know what you know what I mean. A conscious self absorption. Here also you can also find the resistance caused by the minds either at the physical level, mental, emotional, or because of the past memories. So, you can easily point out, you can be very objective. No issue if you become subjective. It's a journey. And, and now, Shanti, the japa on the 16 segments of your fingers, but you are already aware that it's the mind's eye, the mind's tongue, the mind's ear, the mind's touch working. What that means, we have already explained that. Shanti. And it's not a big deal that you start experiencing a tremendous vibes and sensations throughout the body, tingling, numbness, freezing, vision, and the colors. It is because those sense organs are inside. They are one sided windows. So we engage them by, so the mind lives within. Why revelation to take place? Sometimes what happens, you are saying, oh, and the mind gets more absorbed into the mantra. So Om may be very deeper because the mind has left the outer world. So maybe you may not be able to complete the entire 16 segments. But there may also be another reason that because the mind picks up all the thoughts pertaining to the delusion, that is why you are not able to do it. So we have to be mindful. It's a deeper and a higher journey where, as a seeker, we have to be more responsible while the transformation takes place as we hammer the delusion. The tone, the pitch, the length of the Om Shanti at present will also give you some idea and the hint how the mind is working. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. We will share our experiences, and if you have any question, most welcome. How are you, Stephen? In fact, I wanted to take up this session, wanted to expand that what Jerry discussed last time, but we will take it in the next session. How are you, Stephen?
I'm good. Thank you very much. It, to me, it's just it's putting everything in the proper perspective, and that proper perspective is important to always contemplate and reflect, and make sure that that perspective is always absent of the mind, and then the opposite side of this is, again, with contemplation reflection, is being able to realize what truly serves us towards that peace and happiness. And that understanding for me during your lesson really led into a very quiet and calm, peaceful meditation. That when we got to the third breathing, the full breathing, I felt this wave of coldness that basically entered the, from here, went through my body, and as fast as it came through my body, it left my body, and it was just a sense of relaxation.
Beautiful. You have just explained in another way how the knowledge promotes peace and happiness. Another point that you are experiencing, we will talk in the following session. That's another part of the, not part, but another path of kundalini, where we experience that wave just starts couple of inches above the forehead and it moves into the body. So all these things happens that we will talk. Definitely beautiful. Thank you, Stephen. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Um, yeah, I thoroughly loved the lesson or the preamble. Similar to Stephen, sort of a new tool for the toolbox is the knowledge aspect of it. And so similar to Stephen, that caused me to have very, very deep, very quiet, peaceful meditation with no active mind, no monkey mind. It was
No,
very
Mike. You see, you have to understand it clearly. When the knowledge settles in my mind, that is aimed at promoting peace and happiness. How can you be into anxiety and duality and a conflict? There cannot be any delusion. They realize when some people say, I have an extreme headache, that's why I'm not attending this session. You have to explore that why, how. How about you, Jerry?
So I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, it was very quiet, no distraction, peaceful, calm. Thank you. Went by
You,
fast.
fast.
you, when the mind settles in that knowledge which promotes peace and happiness, there is nothing in the world that can disturb. But intellectual understanding is one thing, but it has to settle in the mind. You see, there are two phases. Beautiful. That is what you said. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good. Good morning. So I guess my application of the lesson came out during the meditation as letting go of resistance. So like I realized, especially when we started the breathing, that the mind was resisting it, right? For no reason, it just was. And so I was like, well, just don't resist it. And that, kind of like you were saying, that was the settling of the understanding in the mind, but that was my interpretation of it. And it's something, as we talk about this, it's like that simple, but it's not always that easy.
Yes, if we can endure that resistance, if we simply understand if there is a resistance, it may be because of my past impressions, and that has habituated my mind. So what I should do? No, I should continue to do it. I have to break that habit. And these habits and impressions are always present in the waking state, the moment we wake up in the morning until we retire to the and then compare it with living from a moment to moment. So everything becomes clear. Beautiful way of narrating. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today, by the end of the practice, I felt almost floating and completely separate from my body.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
complete separate from the body. We are already separate from the body, but our mind, because of the delusions, has subjectified the body. Body is an object of awareness. So that's a deeper experience, obviously. So you see that is what we are. We are not imposing anything on the mind and the body. We are saying just see the things as it is. The body is an object. Can I extend to further? Body is an object, so mouse is an object. Mouse fell from my table and it broke. Body has to break one day. So we are beyond the birth, cycle of birth and the death. How are you, Dennis?
I'm fine, thank you. The meditation was deep, peaceful, and quiet. And what I noticed after the last round of breathing, the mind was it was registering the sensations, but it was not interpreting them.
Good.
Like I could not tell whether this something happened in the outer world was a sound or it was a feeling in the body. It was just like a sensation that had no assigned interpretation or had no meaning. That's something interesting I noticed.
You see that all of you have explained the same thing, but your expression are different. So why we share the experiences so that you can have a better perspective of the same session of the same principle. So what he is saying that mind is not registering anything from the world outside. It is because of that level of awareness. Again, it boils down to the same thing. Knowledge that promotes peace, mind is running after that. Mind is not going anywhere. And that gives you a new level of awareness. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I started off the meditation today feeling very tired, and in fact, I was afraid I was going to fall asleep. But as the meditation went on, it had the opposite effect on me. I became very alert and awake, but yet at peace at the same time.
Beautiful. You see that delusion, when I feel sleepy or mind returns with its old habit that I'm tired, it is an old habit. And once you bypass that, you move into a new level of awareness. That's another way of interpretation. Beautiful. Barbara, are you sure?
Sir, I am peace and calm, and nothing question is here. Thank you.
No. Yeah, good. Very good. Peace and calm. And Sangeeta. Oh,
सर बहुत peaceful
बहुत peaceful.
बहुत
Very good.
peaceful था सर कुछ विचार जैसे आ रहे थे पर वो अननोटिस हो रहे थे कुछ कैब आ रहे थे और चले जा रहे थे और बहुत
Yeah.
आनंद
Yeah, that too also happens. The thought continues to come and we do not, mind does not pay any attention because now they are objective to my mind. So when they are objective to my mind, that I am in peace and happiness. The thought of the craziness comes, yes, but I'm objective to it. What happens? Identify. When the thought becomes subjectified, then I am in stress, then I'm tired, then you did this thing and I did this thing. I already explained you the email exchange. I never do it, mind it. So believe me, I never do it. But, sometime I have to do it to, to educate others. That is all for today. Thank you very much. We will meet again.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.